Erev Shabbat Shalom. It's hard to imagine where Israel has been at war for the last 616 days. Yet today, over these last 12 hours, it's 3 p.m. From 3 a.m. this morning, Israel time, we've had a new aspect of the war has opened, fortunately, with tremendous success with the courageous and daring work of the Israeli Air Force and of the Mossad in successfully eliminating key threats from Iran, eliminating their ballistic missiles, it appears, and we're exceedingly grateful. And with that, the Home Front Command has given very significant hanchayot, very significant guidelines about gathering for prayer. How that will play out exactly here over Shabbat still remains to be determined, but we remain fully committed to following those guidelines. But prayer, particularly in a time of war, is such a critical and crucial experience, whether it be communal prayer in Bet Knesset or whether it be Tfilat HaYachid, the prayer of the individual in our own home and our own heart. In fact, in this week's Torah portion, we're given a commandment that seems connected purely to the temple. Uvnei Aaron HaKohanim yitku b'chatzotzrot v'yilechem lechukat olam ledorotechem. The sons of Aaron will sound the trumpets. It will be an eternal commandment for all generations. We have, thankfully, many amazing trumpeteers and flute players in our community. But we don't, generally speaking, we sound the shofar. We don't sound the trumpet in everyday ritual. The next verse here in Bamidbar, chapter 9, verse 10, tells us, Ki tavo milchama ba'artzachem, when there's a time of war in your land, v'alatzar hatzorer etchem, and about whatever tzar, whatever pain is causing you pain, ve'iritem b'chatzotzrot, you will call out with your chatzotzra, v'nizkartem, and you will be remembered lifnei Hashem Elokechem v'noshatem mo'ivechem, and you will find deliverance or salvation from your enemies. Among the medieval scholars, there's a debate whether prayer is at all times biblically ordained or only in the times of need. Nachmanides says, only in the time when I really, really feel it is it a biblical mitzvah, while Maimonides renders it a mitzvah continuously. But Maimonides does a fascinating move. In his opening of the laws of Ta'niyot, the laws of fasts, he says, mitzvat aseh min Torah, lizok ula'ariya b'chatzotzrot, al kol tzara shetavo al hatzibur. It's a positive commandment to call out with the chatzotzra, with the trumpet, on every time the Jewish people are in a place of crisis. Shene'amar, citing the verse from this week's parsha from Numbers chapter 10, verse 9. You will call out with your trumpets. And again, the commentaries struggle. What does it mean to call out with my trumpet when I don't have a trumpet? And they say that, in fact, it's the inner call, the inner ability to pray, to find connection between the individual and God. And the Sfat Emet suggests to find connection between individuals. And obviously, if we do not gather together in Bet Knesset following the guidelines of Pikuda Oreh, it's all the more incumbent in the 4 hours before Shabbat and after Shabbat, and even during Shabbat, if you're in need, reach out to people whose spouse has been called up to Miluim. Reach out to people who feel alone or isolated. Say we care. That is, in fact, the Sfat Emet argues, the Chatzotzra, the ability to call out to God by saying we care about one another. For in fact, each one of us is created B'Tselem Elokim. Each one of us has a divine image within us. And when we see the other person, we are able to perhaps glean a glimpse of the divine. And with the hope that through our connecting and our prayers, our soldiers will be successful. The 53 hostages that still remain in Gaza, those who are alive, will come home to their families. Those who are no longer will come to be buried with dignity and honor. Those who are wounded will be healed. As we tell God, God's perhaps his highest form of praise is he's able to heal those of brokenhearted, those who are in mourning will find comfort. And it will be a time of hope for the Jewish people. Adonai oz la'amo yitein, Adonai yevarech et amo b'shalom. May God give us strength. May the strength be what leads us to find the ability to bring peace to our land and peace to this entire region. In fact, we're assured that the prophetic vision, V'natati shalom ba'aretz, I will give peace in land, v'simchat olam liyoshveh, and eternal gladness for all its inhabitants. May it happen speedily in our day. May God watch over our precious soldiers. Shabbat shel nitzachon, Shabbat of victory, shalom, v'shalva l'chol Beit Yisrael, and of peace and of tranquility for the whole people of Israel. Shabbat shalom.